Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream. And yesterday, those who were watching would have seen the market was starting to see a massive uptrend, and right now it is looking very, very strong indeed. We've got a lot of sources to cover in today's stream, going into the exact reason why the markets are looking so bullish today. And equally, we've got a lot more to get into as well regarding, again, potentially Casper making that rally back up and going much higher as well. Right now, Casper's currently up just below 4% on the daily time frame, now valued at 10.32 cents, which is not doing too bad. We are still seeing a lot of resistance and getting rejected at the 11 cent zone around here. Until we break above this zone here, we have not got confirmation of the next leg up for Casper, so I want to see Casper break above here over the next coming days or so. But we are seemingly breaking out of that wedge pattern, that bullish flag people are highlighting as well. As Casper does make a move up today, if we can see it continue in that fashion, hopefully Casper will start making that move upwards. And for me, the next zone will be 13 cents up here, which apparently is where the elusive wallet to where the average holding of Casper is. So if we surpass that, they will officially be net positive for Casper, and that could incentivize them to list the project as well if they are an exchange, which they likely are. Binance, Crypto.com, OKX, Coinbase, who they are, we don't know. But things are looking very, very up right now. And what's also interesting is, truth be told, we could have very easily have seen an all-time high of Bitcoin yesterday. Very easily. We had so many. We had two, which could have ended up being three major bullish catalysts all taking place on the same day. I would like to believe, honestly, it was all pre-planned. It would not surprise me if all three significant political policy foundation developments were all intended to be enforced at the same time. I'm talking banks being given the green light to regulate and adopt and trade and buy crypto. I'm talking Trump showcasing the first trade negotiation deal coming to fruition with the United Kingdom, and also stablecoin regulations, which unfortunately the latter, the final one, was rejected. We'll get into all of that in today's stream and with some Casper news as well. But as always, if you enjoy the daily content, you know what to do. Leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. We are so close now, family, to seeing Bitcoin surpass all-time highs, to seeing Ethereum go through a parabolic rally, see altcoins going parabolic, so on Casper to regain all-time high status and beyond that as well. It's no doubt in my mind Casper's going to make above that. Right now, from all-time highs back in August 1st, which has been a long time, we are down 50%, which sounds like a far cry away still. But look at many other assets in a similar sort of position to Casper right now, say in a kind of a similar lie, like say still down 70-80%. Look at Tau, which Tau, not the same project as Casper, but it does tend to follow Casper's chart quite closely from all-time highs. Tau is down about 45%, so not that far off either. Sui's had a very, very really strong run recently as well. Even now it's down about 30%, so Sui's done very, very well, but ultimately a lot of assets right now are still down quite significantly from their all-time highs. Casper is, with what's coming out very soon, going to start rallying significantly in my belief. We did see in our stream yesterday, Casper Door confirm that we're going to see native smart contracts coming way sooner to Casper than Q3, so potentially therefore in the next month or two. And if that is true, that's going to be the end game for Casper. Adoption will come through gradually, but it will come through, and you'll see significant acceleration in Casper's adoption and value therefore as well. A lot to get into in today's stream, so hopefully you're all having a very, very good day. And happy Friday, everyone. Yes, you're right, Greg. First, happy Friday indeed. Hope you have a very, very good day so far. You too, next level cash. Let's get into it. You know it. Welcome back, Lama Man. LB on the check-in. You know it. Thomas, Casper, still DCA as you should do. We are in the very, very strong position right now. What's up, Romano? Was the stablecoin bill rejected? Yes. So we're going to get into that in today's stream. It's quite unfortunate because basically the bill had all the makings to be passed. There was a lot of bipartisan support of it. And then the moment it came to actually passing it into law, the same very Democrats who had originally supported the bill pulled out last second. The bill only lost by 1 vote, but of course that's enough. We'll get into all of that in today's stream and what it will mean for us going forward as well, and how long we're going to have to wait. But I can say with a lot of conviction and confidence, for what we saw yesterday with the banks, OCC, and with Trump's trade war confirmation or the deal coming through, I am very, very confident that if we did see the stablecoin bill coming out as well, Bitcoin would at least touch the all-time highs again. It would have come up here. I mean, even then, Bitcoin saw what, a 5% rally yesterday, 7% rally. So even then, it did incredibly well. Not taking anything away from that, but for me, there's no doubt that if you got a stablecoin bill as well as everything else, 3 of the biggest, market top indicators, if you will, that would have seen Bitcoin reach to its all-time high level sort of. It probably still would have got rejected. We do need to see more momentum and more stuff coming out, but it would have seen a bigger rally than we saw yesterday. But we are in a very strong position right now, so we'll get to all that again in a moment. Welcome back, DD bro. Hope you're doing very, very well. And new to my man, bring us the good news. You know it. In just a moment, I will do. Welcome back, Buffalo, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Who are sending you a message, Coinbase staff? No, that's just my phone. It's my phone. It's all my news channels that I follow popping off, which they tend to do quite a lot during these streams, but I can't check them right now. Before we get into more of the pleasantries, saying hello to everyone and whatnot and answering questions, we'll get into the sources for today's video. So before we get into the Casper news, which is not a lot of that, truth be told, today, but we still have a lot of very important news here. We can see right now Casper on CoinMarketCap. Casper is currently got 131 million 24-hour trading volume, which is great news to see. Again, the higher the better. It's still quite lackluster considering that we've seen Casper reach 600 during its peak, if not even higher than that. So it's still quite a far cry away from that, but it's going up and hopefully continues in that fashion, because again, the higher the volume, the more incentive these big tier ones like Crypto.com, like Binance, like Coinbase, like OKX, more incentive they have to list Casper. And again, for me, it's a matter of time. Very, very close now. Gate still dominating with 26.69%. Lbank's up there, 16.8%. Mexi 19.55%. Then BitGet 8% almost. Bybit 7% almost. Still lackluster. Kraken 2%. So we need to see again more volume with these 3 in particular to see that have a greater effect and possibility of tier ones taking a notice. Again, for me, they are taking a notice, but it's just not their time right now. That's all I can say to it, really. We are seeing a lot more volume coming back to crypto right now. Crypto, as we can see, has surpassed the $3 trillion market cap by quite a ways now. $3.26 trillion market cap, up 3.49%. And the volume again is going parabolic right now at just short of 200 billion 24-hour volume. Things are looking up, and the greed has significantly jumped. It was literally only a week ago in the fear region, and now it's back up to greed. You might see a pullback, but I think right now we are kind of riding the FOMO wave right now and going a little bit higher. But I think, again, we are nowhere near the top for me, nowhere near the top. To get into the first elements of the sources right now, we can see from the What to Guru here, just in yesterday, we saw 235 billion with a B, $billion added to crypto market. That was yesterday, which is a very big deal considering that, again, crypto is still a very, very small market. The market consists of only 3.2 trillion. So you saw it's a significant sum of money. Very, very big sum of money added to crypto, and that is still continuing to rally a little bit more today as well. The reason why comes down to numerous significant sources, one of them being here from Trump. I'm not going to play this video out, but I'll play the later one in a moment. But ultimately, Trump stated just yesterday, get out there, invest in stocks. Now this nation is set to soar like a rocket. Love or hate Trump, the way that I perceived this statement from him, this announcement, is because he is deemed as the crypto president, and because we should know that in due time everything will be tokenized on a blockchain. I've taken this him just saying we're about to go up, buy everything, invest. Just invest, simply put. And of course, that's not me saying listen to Trump, buy because he's saying so. That's not what I'm saying. But he said that we're about to go up, and after yesterday's news, the trade deal being the biggest one, it looks like we did go up quite significantly as well. Trump officially announced that he made a deal with the United Kingdom, where I'm from, which had numerous benefits. It slashed the tariffs from UK cars and steel and aluminium. The UK cars went from 25% import or export to 10%, so significantly pulled back. But it also allowed American ranchers and farmers to sell their meats to the UK as well. So ultimately it benefited American farmers a lot and also benefited UK car manufacturers as well. So it was quite a significant deal that did definitely play a massive factor into the rally in price yesterday. And the reason why is because for the most part people are still really uncertain about tariffs, still very uncertain about it. It's been a month since they've been implemented right now, and we've heard a lot of promises, a lot of talk from Trump, but nothing set in stone just yet. And this is the first, I guess, proof of such, of it being set in stone, of deals coming out that actually seem to be very, very favourable. We can even hear in this segment, in this clip here, Trump announcing that there are going to be many, many more coming through as well, seemingly as well with China, which apparently the Swiss president says that China and USA are holding trade talks in Switzerland right now, which is very good news if that's true. So listen very closely to Trump talking about more trade deals coming through very soon.
How close are you to more deals, and when do you expect the next to be announced?
Well, very close. We have numerous deals. I know Howard's going back. As soon as this is finished, your press conference, he's got numerous. And Scott, who's right over here, who's fantastic, by the way. You were great on television this morning. I watched you. That was you gave them a little lesson in the world and economics. But Scott's going to be going to Switzerland, meeting with China, and they very much want to make a deal. We can all play games. Who made the first call? Who didn't make the? It doesn't matter. It only matters what happens in that room. But I will tell you that China very much wants to make a deal. We'll see how that works out. Every country throughout the last 40, 50 years has literally ripped off the United States on trade, on military, on protection, on all the different things. And we are now making fair deals. And in this case, it's great because we really weren't very much involved. You have the European Union, which is, I think you made the right decision years ago. I don't know if you remember, I was opening up Turnberry the day that you were voting. And they asked me, would it happen or would it not happen? I said, no, I think they're going to go their own separate way. I think it's better for them. And they did. I think it's going to end up being a very smart decision. But a big part of that decision was always that you'd be able to make a deal with the United States. And they were unable to do that. But now they made it. And it's a tremendous, it's very important. That was always a big part of your decision on Brexit. And they were never able to make that deal. It was a tough one. And this one it's amazing with time. This one just went very smoothly, went quickly and smoothly, and a lot of common sense, as I like to say. It's tremendous common sense, but it's going to make your country much bigger in terms of trade, and it's going to make our country much bigger in terms of trade, too.
Now, one thing I do take away from that in particular is he is right. It did happen very, very quickly. Again, we've already had tariffs implemented in America and worldwide for a month. Liberation Day was on the 4th of April. The 4th of April. So we are sitting just over a month now since Liberation Day. And we've already seen the first of seemingly many trade deals coming through with America and worldwide, which is going to benefit America and also deter a lot of the FUD, which will therefore allow the markets to rally up more so as well. And while Trump seemingly did crash the economy in his first 3-4 months of his tenure, it's already making a significant recovery. And I've been highlighting time and time again, I do believe, whether it is to own personal gains, him trying to get his insiders a little bit rich, or maybe it was because he understood that there was a lot of debt needing to be refinanced, and therefore he had to send the dollar and the markets massively down so he could refinance it at a lower level. Again, people have their own opinions on the reasons for him crashing the markets, but what I can attest to and what I do believe in and what is evident is all people remember is the last thing they did. What Trump's doing right now, everyone is seemingly quite frustrated with him, and that's understandable. But if Trump manages to cause a booming economy, which he seems to try to do right now, and he's getting close to doing right now, all the elements that people are coming at him for, people who are very anti-Trump for reasons that are some factual, some just misinformation, it will be forgotten. And also, whenever a new administration takes over presidency, they have an unspoken rule, a 6-month grace period, because they can always just chalk up to, we are doing badly in the first 6 months because of the previous administration. He can blame everything on Biden still, and he has been still. Once it passes July, then he can't really use that excuse anymore. And again, just look at the market. I mean, the stock market is still, quite far off. The S&P 500 is, up a bit more, significantly more now. You can see since February, it's currently down, but it's made a massive recovery as of late. But then you look at Bitcoin as well. Look how much Bitcoin's come up in that time as well. Bitcoin's been doing fantastically now, and crypto again. The altcoins are still bleeding comparatively a lot more, still a hell of a lot more, but in a Bitcoin dominant market. And we're seeing right now Ethereum's up 5% today. Ethereum has seen over $500 in value added to its price, a lot more market cap. It's in a rally of 30% right now since yesterday, peaking up at 38%. This is a very strong sign. The altcoin cycle is still very, very well and truly alive. It's still well and truly alive. It's going to be a bit laboured, take a bit of time, but Ethereum's making a significant rally now. Ethereum right now is still the number 2 cryptocurrency. It's still the leader of the altcoin market. That could very well change by the end of the cycle, because Ethereum for me is just not efficient enough. It's not great. So Ethereum probably will be its last cycle. We'll have to wait and see though. But Ethereum is still the leader of the altcoin cycle, and we're seeing significant value for this asset right now, which is very bullish to understand that, again, the alt cycle is still very well here, and we'll see a lot more coming through very soon. So this is one big reason why the market was pumping yesterday. And the other big reason why is because US federal regulators, the OCC, confirmed that the banks under the regulations, under their own jurisdiction, they are able now to trade, buy, sell, and custody cryptocurrencies. So you're now officially seeing the TradFi sector, the banking sector, being able to offer crypto, to get involved in the crypto sector. Official confirmation here now. Those are 2 significant catalysts. That is, those happening on the very same day, back to back, is a very big deal. And that for me is, further fanned the flames of why crypto and Bitcoin was rallying so much yesterday. Came out during our stream yesterday, actually. Now, the third massive macro development, or the fundamental, would have been the stablecoin bill. And I say would have been because that was also being debated on and going through the final voting, if you will, at the Senate. And while it had all the means to pass, because seemingly majority were in favor, last second, many Democrats seemingly pulled out of this very bill they supported and voted for. The Senate has rejected advancing pro-crypto legislation that's supported by Trump Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, 48 to 49. So it's a very small margin, but it still got rejected. Bessent stated that senators who voted to stonewall US ingenuity today face a simple choice: either step up and lead, or watch digital innovation move offshore. And that is, again, while we're going to still read through all of this as well, that for me is, again, it's the simple truth of the matter. The reason why these Democrats who have now taken a step back last second is seemingly because they are stating that Trump's desire and need to pass a crypto legislative bill is to do something illicit with it, which, again, I'm not here to talk about Trump's exact measures of what he's trying to do with it. Again, there may be things he's doing wrong with it, taking advantage of the system, maybe. I'm not necessarily touching whether he isn't. I'm not, again, taking sides here. But I am going to say one thing which I'm a confidence in, which is they can delay it all they want, but crypto's not going to stop. They could delay this bill all they want, but end of the day, if they keep delaying it, as Scott Bessent stated, which we almost saw, last year under Biden, crypto went heavily offshore. America was being left behind. If crypto goes offshore, the dollar, right now the dollar is losing its dominance. the only way the dollar dominance stays up is if it translates to stablecoins. But if America still seems to be extremely hostile towards crypto, that dollar denominated stablecoins will switch to euros or to yuan or I don't know to sterling, pound sterling. I don't know the next major denominator or fiat currency element is, but they can't stop crypto innovation without willing to take on significant risks of putting America in significantly far behind, which would be disastrous for the financial landscape and cause a bigger crisis than we seemingly already seem to be going towards. For stablecoins and other digital assets to thrive globally, the world needs American leadership. The Senate missed an opportunity to provide that leadership today by failing to advance the Genius Act. This bill represents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to expand dollar dominance and US influence in financial innovation. Without it, stablecoins will be subject to a patchwork of state regulations instead of a streamlined federal framework that is more conducive to growth and competitiveness. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. It's not the end of the world because, again, for me, it's not a matter of if, a matter of when this bill is going to be passed. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. If it does get stopped, then it's going to be, again, just disastrous. But I don't think it's possible for it to be stopped. According to Bloomberg, the US Democratic senators have asked the Treasury and the Department of Justice to clarify whether Binance is linked to the Trump family, citing concerns over USD1 being used to fund Abu Dhabi's $2 billion investment in Binance. They also questioned Binance's continued US operations, whether a pardon for CZ has been sought, requesting a response by May 1st. So, as we understand what's going on right now, we look at here at the former Fox Business journalist Eleanor Terrett here, where she highlighted that the vote was failed. Senate Banking Committee Chair Senator Tim Scott blames Democrats suffering from Trump derangement syndrome and playing politics, and it does seem to be partly the case. But again, I'm not here to necessarily voice my opinion on who's right and who's wrong. I'm here just simply covering the news, and you can make your own decision on, again, who's in the right, who's in the wrong right now. But again, Senator Tim Scott, who again is part of, he's under kind of Trump's wing here, so it's understandable he'd say this, but he said here that it was a vote against Trump and Trump's legislative agenda, a vote to stop Trump from having a victory in the digital asset space. Trump's derangement syndrome has once again hijacked responsible governance in this chamber. And again, whether it is true, whether it is a case of they just don't want Trump to succeed, or is it a case of they do see something significantly wrong with the bill that would give Trump, power to do something he shouldn't be able to do. Again, that is not for me to say, that's for you to debate for yourself. Leader John Thune changed his vote to no in the last second so he can bring the bill back up to the floor at a later date. Unclear when that will be, but the Senate Republicans are hoping that it will be before Memorial Day, which I believe is the 22nd of May. So there's a lot of pressure now on the Democrats to get this done following criticism from the administration and palpable frustration from the GOP. So it seems this bill got delayed. They have seemed like 2 weeks or so, hopefully, to kind of go away, count their chickens, come back and decide what they're going to do next, how they're going to go about it. Because that's the weird thing, right? Because the weird thing, it'd be one thing if the bill got denied, right? This bill has gone through the House already. This bill has had numerous revisions and reviews. 4 or 5, I think. It got to the final stage, and the very politicians who were happy with the bill when passing it through, last second have then switched to saying no. That's why I can, again, don't want to voice too much of my opinion on this, but I can potentially see an element of truth in what Tim Scott said here. Because the very politicians, the very Democrats who were helping devise the bill up and, again, pass through all the votes, through all the previous stages, the very, very final hurdle, they then changed their vote last second. So I don't exactly know what happened for them to delay it right last second. And for me, if we had saw it pass yesterday, we would have very, very likely have seen Bitcoin reach all-time highs. I don't think surpass it, but I think you would have seen it at least reach all-time high. And then you've got the market structure bill still to come out, and you've got many. Well, I mean, you still haven't got the stablecoin bill out just yet, anyway. So, but you've got still a lot of legislative bills coming out that will give, more of the banks more of the opportunity to actually get involved in crypto, seeing their capital flow into the space, sending crypto and Bitcoin higher as well. So, the delay is good in the sense of it gives us more time to buy while the markets are quote unquote cheap, with Casper still only at 10.38 cents. But again, the time's quickly running out, with the FOMO driving the market up, with crypto on the cusp of going for the next leg of the bull run, with Casper and all of its big developments coming out as well. You'll see a significant rally in Bitcoin and alts and Casper, with tier ones jumping on board as well. And equally, you'll see just a lot more adoption. Like it's once more, it's frustrating to see just roadblocks in our way from those who are wanting to see the generational wealth come through right here and now. It's not a marathon and a sprint, of course. Don't be emotional, be logical. Although frustration is understandable, but once more understand, the ultimate mission is not changed. Nothing's changed. We're still on track. We see a lot of very big announcements happening yesterday that saw the market rally up higher. The bill being denied is frustrating, but we're still in a very, very strong spot, and I'm not the only one who says that. We've got the second meeting with BlackRock today, which marks the Crypto Task Force 99th meeting with industry participants, which is really, really good to see. We've had 100 meetings since February. So in the span of 3-4 months or so, we've seen 100 meetings, which is a massive increase. Think about the last administration under Biden. They were against crypto completely. And if they did have meetings about it, they tried their best to delay them. We've seen 100 meetings. They're trying to get this done. Facebook apparently is now going to enable crypto payments for their 3 billion users. That's a very, very big deal. We saw, or we're going to see at least, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin short liquidated at $110,000. So right now we look at the market right now, all-time highs being at $109,000 if you reach 110. Those who are, trying to short Bitcoin thinking, there's a massive, massive sell wall effectively at 110k. So what that means is if and when Bitcoin does surpass 110k, it will be a significant rally higher as well, because there's a massive sell wall there. So over $1 billion is going to get liquidated when Bitcoin reaches that value, which again could very well be by the end of the month. M2 suggests as such. Look at the M2 supply right now. The M2 suggests that we could very well see Bitcoin reach this sort of height going towards early June, end of May. And then we'll see maybe a small pullback, and then we'll see it go much, much higher. At the M2 is again trying to make all-time highs, looking at towards 140 odd K Bitcoin. And that's still without the United States printing money and cutting rates yet, which will hopefully come through. Not that we need it right now. The M2 suggests we don't need it. Other nations be able to print more of their money and loosen monetary policies to allow, more money in the economy. China's been printing a hell of a lot. But hopefully Jerome Powell will start cutting rates as well, because it'll just, again, allow us to see a higher market than anticipated with regulatory frameworks as well, and more money coming through. Cathie Woods, the ARK Invest CEO, COO, and founder, highlighted on CNBC recently as well that Bitcoin is headed to $1.5 million because it's taking market share from gold. Institutions are just testing the waters. Now, she's not saying the cycle. Of course she's not saying the cycle, because that would be ridiculous, and said to say, I think all of us here would be absolutely filthy rich. We saw Bitcoin reach 1.5 million. A 15x from here is ridiculous. I don't think that's happening. I do think there's a possibility we do see Bitcoin start to steal liquidity from gold once people get more understanding of what crypto is and get more conviction in crypto. You'll probably see that, but it will again be a gradual thing. I think Bitcoin could definitely surpass expectations this cycle, although it depends on who you are. Some have 200k Bitcoin, some have 500k Bitcoin, some only have 130k Bitcoin. I'm on the more conservative side just because I'm trying to play it safe. But again, while that's my conservative prediction, I'm still playing reactionary, so if it goes higher, I'll still be in the market. I'm not going to just sell everything because I've reached my targets. It's a different sort of market in that regard. And I do think we'll see Bitcoin. I do think there's a future quite comfortably with Bitcoin surpassing $1 million. How long in the future? Can't say. But it will happen. And then by that point, Casper will be in a completely different bracket. it will be its own individual asset. When you have proof of work assets and you have real world assets and you have gaming tokens and you have, all these, individual brackets for assets. Casper, by the point Bitcoin's at $1 million, Casper will be in its own individual bracket untouched. Because it will already be the Bitcoin, but medium of exchange, scalable enough to actually be used as a currency. Which I'll get into the Casper news in just a moment right now, but I'm going to answer the question really quickly first off, because, right now, things are looking strong. And Casper, again, is showing a lot of strength as well, which is very, very reassuring. Holders, again, for Casper are actually going up a bit. We're seeing up 254,416 holders and addresses right now. And that's not holders saying that's how many people, it's addresses, so we could it's going to definitely be some overlaps here, but either way, so it's an increasing number of holders, number of addresses even, which is good to see. And there's a lot more going to come through in due time as well. When Robinhood, that for me is a very, very good question. Can't say for sure right now. I think if we're going to get exchange listings, for me, likelihood is going to be Binance, Crypto.com, OKX, Gemini, then Coinbase, and then Robinhood. But Coinbase and Robinhood for me are like the bigger ones. Well, Binance as well, the bigger ones. But I'm not banking on those guys coming quickly at all. They're always very, very late. Historically, very, very late. Wait until June for the utility coins pump high. That's what I think. I think June's going to be, M2 supply suggests June's going to be a big, big month as well. But I think, with these regulations coming through, or being delayed, but close to coming through at least, with the green light being given right now, I think we'll see a lot of significant rallies end of May, going into June, and potentially from there on out as well. We're looking at a very strong market. Welcome back, Brett, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Evening from Barcelona. Hey, my man. Hope you're having a very, very good time out there. Great to have you back. Oh, I'm so ready to break even from the next few months. Break even is just the minimum, man. I think we go much higher personally. Yo, Shay, my man. Welcome back to the channel. Can you do some TA? TA is not my forte, but I'll do some elements of TA. So we can see again from the wedge right now, we have seemingly, we have the wicks above this kind of wedge that I've drawn out. Equally, you can draw it out as a the bullish flag, which equally does showcase that we are breaking above it. If we end above it, that's very, very good. But for me, again, whilst it's bullish confirmation right now, we need to break above the 11 cents resistance right here. That's where we need to break out of to see Casper actually confirm the next leg of the bull run for itself at least. If we look at elements of, the fib retracement, for example, fib retracement, that's the wrong one. I do that all the time. Fib retracement here. We can see fib retracement right now. We did see Casper react in accordance to, how I predicted. Again, if we did see the market show more strength than weakness, we did do, which is we saw Casper rally up here. And I said, and I did let my VIPs know ahead of time as well. And even our experienced trader, C Crypto, let them know in more detail in advance as well that we may see Casper come back down to this level down here at 8.18 cents, right again, the golden pocket, but more than likely, and in the more bullish scenario, if we see Casper get rejected and find support at the high level here, 8.7, that means that should we get confirmation of reversal, which will happen once we break above 11 cents, it will be a much, much bigger rally and much quicker as well. Of course, coming lower down is expected, but if we rally up after seeing a rebound on 2 occasions down here, we go above that, it's going to be even more bullish for Casper, seeing a quicker rally as well. Other elements like, you can look at the moving average, the RSI, that sort of stuff, you can use it. I'm not going to showcase that because, for me right now, I think the fundamentals matter a lot more than the technical analysis. While it's still important, of course, I'm not going to discredit TA. I don't. I just don't think it's the holy grail right now, especially in the market that is so what's the word I'm looking for? Unpredictable. So unpredictable right now. The market's very unpredictable because Trump has too much influence. So TA is non-immune. Because if people listen to TA solely, TA told everyone right here after Bitcoin lost this 96k again that it's going to come back down, probably down to about 90k, and then go back up again. It didn't come back to 90k. It came down to 93, and then reversed very, very quickly. So again, TA is relative. TA is not bad, and of course I can use that. Right now, even Ethereum's looking very, very strong. We can see right now it's fine. It's currently trading around a strong level of resistance for it. If you look back in the chart, if I have to draw the line here, we can see, look back, on numerous occasions, Ethereum has been touching, and finding support here, even getting rejected here as well, and now it's seemingly getting rejected here as well. So if we can see Ethereum surpass that, that'll be a very, very strong level for it. And I mean, yeah, things are looking ultimately very, very strong for the markets right now. Bitcoin again showing strength once more. If you see Bitcoin surpass all-time highs very quickly, then I mean that'd be fantastic. Bitcoin dominance once more. Still very, very high, though it is falling off after Ethereum is showing a lot of strength right now. Which is why the alts are rallying more so right now, because Ethereum is showing the strength. It's still quite high, 63%, and truth be told, it could still go a lot higher. Remember last cycle we saw 73, although if you do take it in a more literal sense, we saw 73 last cycle, but the cycle before that we saw it even reach, you know, in the hundreds, because you know that was, well, last cycle would have been here. Well, actually no, it was 2 occasions. Sorry, no, it was 73 twice then. The last cycle was here, and the cycle before that one, oh no, cycle after that one. So the last cycle was here, cycle before that was here. So 73 should be the kind of zone we expect. It's not reached that high just yet, so we definitely could see it still go up higher with more Bitcoin dominance, which I think once we get regulatory frameworks in the green light properly for banks and institutions to start buying more crypto and buying more Bitcoin, you see the Bitcoin dominance rally up significantly, and then that will cycle into altcoins. And then you'll see Bitcoin dominance fall off very, very sharply, with them starting to put all of their capital, start bringing into altcoins, mainly through ETFs, but it'll come through. And that's when Casper will start to shine more so as well, my belief. As well as other assets as well. You know, SUI will do fantastic. You know, while it's a proof of stake, it will do fantastic. It's got the partnerships in that regard, the VC backing. Say will do fantastic. Tau will do fantastic. I mean, the way I deem this market, this is probably the first and, well, arguably the last market. This is an everything bull run. Obviously within region, but you can effectively go into anything. And, you know, there's money to be made. After the cycle, you'll see a mass liquidation and many, many assets going to zero because they are just terrible assets. So you'll see a crypto culling, but this is the last everything bull run when everything's going to go up. So we are very, very fortunate. It's our best opportunity right now. And then after the best opportunity of our lives to make money, then you've got to try and find the safe havens, which, I mean, I think we've already found it in Casper. So, and that's all the information and stuff like that. Again, it's available in my VIP group. We do a lot of stuff in there. We actually posted 3 trades yesterday. 3 trades in the VIP yesterday, and I even just showed them real quickly right now. 3 trades in the VIP yesterday, and so far all 3 are doing very, very well in profit. So our trades are going very, very well. Shout out to Chartflow for those. So the trades are doing very, very well, able to make money passively, or actively make money on the side, and then obviously putting those profits into our investments as well. So you want to find out more about, you know, maximizing on this market through the Alpha institutional research documents that I'm providing occasionally in these streams, trading courses, you know, how to trade, stuff to look out for, and also the buy and sell alerts as well, and much more. You could go check that out, links down below in the description, and also on my YouTube homepage as well, www.wop.com/coin-factory, right here. Welcome back, Crypto, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well, and yeah, having a great day so far. Happy Friday to you, my man. Great few weeks for me. My KS2 Lite arrived, love that. My Tantrum arrived, love that, and I won a BitX Gamma. Oh my days, having an absolute blinder, my man. And with Crescendo and eventually smart contracts, I think this might be my year. I think it's going to be your year, definitely, Ronnie. You know, I pray for you, my man. Looking very, very good, my man. Keep it up. Anyone else old enough to remember when LFG meant looking for group? Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, and now it's become I think it's looking for team now. LFT, looking for team. That's now it's become. That's more of a gaming term though. LFT, looking for team. But yeah, I remember LFG mean looking for group as well. Who is your celebrity crush? That's a good question actually. Who would it be? Depends. You know, sometimes my moods change. I think every guy can attest to loving Ryan Reynolds. I'm trying to think. Anna de Armas. Yeah, I think you know who I'm talking about. Anna de Armas. I probably butchered her name. I apologise, but yeah, no, she is unbelievable. Yeah, that would be who it is probably. Trying to get up to the questions right here. What's up, running one? If you had to fight a gorilla, what would be your first move? And you're not allowed to run. Well, that sucks. Try and sell at Casper. No. Pray. Just pray. It would be just pray. What else could I do, man? It's a gorilla. Like, if I can't run, like, I ain't fighting a gorilla. Like, I'm not a small lad by any means, but I ain't not fighting no gorilla. Like, it's cooked. Best I can do is, like, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, I actually might just go my first answer. Just talk to her about Casper. Maybe it'll get so excited it's not want to kill me. You show your, oh, there you go, exactly. You show your Casper wallet and they're gonna be speechless. Exactly. There you go. Did he mess up the stream again? Where's my yo? I was late. The yo comes. I have to sometimes delay it because my PC can be a bit buggy. So sometimes I say yo before the streaming actually kickstarts. Like I'll click go live, and sometimes it takes like 5 seconds to actually activate. So I do try and put a bit of delay. But the yo was there. It's always there. It has to be there. It's ritual now. I wanted to change it at one point, and I was like, actually, it's just part of me now. The yo, what's up, my crypto family? You know what I mean? Apology you're late again, DC, but hopefully you're enjoying the content so far. 2nd of April. Okay, I don't know why I thought Memorial Day was a Memorial Day. Was that a UK one? Was that a US one? Is there a difference between the two? It says 26th of May for me. Okay, well, either way, they're going to have to get this bill sorted out soon enough. That's the fact of the matter. It's your daily Casper and pro-Trump news, and I'm doing my best to stay very, very neutral in this matter. I'm covering the news, that's all it is. Although I am highlighting once more the definite inconsistencies with the Democrats who were supportive of a bill and then pulled out last second. And while it's being identified as Trump derangement syndrome, again, we can debate that. I'm not trying to say I'm pro-Trump. Ultimately, there's no point in me even trying to be anti-Trump. I'm trying to remain neutral, but there's no point in me being anti-Trump. At the end of the day, he's not going to be removed from office, is he? There's no point in complaining about something we can't change. And that's my ultimate outlook in life in general, right? There's no point in me complaining about how bad the UK economy is right now, how bad the Tories left it, and now what Labour's doing right now. There's no point in complaining about it because I can't do anything about it. So instead of complaining about it, I just try and make good of a bad situation. So I highlight what's going on in the economy right now, what's happening with Trump, and whether you love or hate Trump, again, it does not bother me at all. I don't care. I really don't. I've got a lot of people I know in real life who hate Trump, a lot of people who, glaze him to all live in hell, and again, it doesn't bother me either way. I remain neutral so I could take part in both conversations. But all I can do is highlight what he's talking about and the effect it's having on the economy. But again, I did also highlight that he did definitely collapse the economy beforehand as well. Reasons, again, you can debate about. But he has now the economy's not recovered now. So what he's doing now is working. Market looking good today though. Yes, definitely indeed. Loving these signals. Hopefully this is the push for the real bull run. I believe so as well. I hope so as well. It really, really does depend on the macro. We do have on the 12th of May, so in 3 days time, we're going to have the SEC Crypto Task Force, which could be very, very good. On the 13th, the day afterwards, we're going to have the inflation data, which will be very, very, very important because that inflation data will be the first with tariffs implemented, which will therefore determine how Jerome Powell and the Fed is going to react. So it's going to be very important, that data, so we have to look forward to that. And so yeah, we've got a lot of very important macro news to come out that will definitely determine the price of Bitcoin and crypto going forward. But again, the M2 is still looking strong in that half of the year. And seemingly, again, big Casper developments as well, which I'm going to get into right now before we get into more of the sources. There's not much to cover for Casper today, truth be told, but we do have some stuff either way. Uphold, of course, we already list Casper right now, said impressive right now, highlighting Casper's block production in comparison to everything else: Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, Litecoin, Liquid, Hyperliquid even, and Sui. Once more stricken how quick Casper is in comparison to everything else. So If Uphold thinks it's oppressive, that could be a testament to every other exchange who sees it similarly. Because Uphold is still one of the bigger and more trusted American exchanges as well. We haven't got Coinbase yet, we haven't got Coinbase, Gemini, Crypto.com, Robinhood. Those are still yet to come. But again, Uphold, Dr. Mark and Heisberg are bullish on Casper. I'm sure other exchanges will follow in suit in due time as well. And this was something that was posted in our community, our free community Discord as well. If you want to find out more, stay up to date with crypto, Casper, again, fundamentals, what's happening in this space in general, and have a community just to chill, chat, and learn more about, and just, I guess, a family, if you will. Got the free community Discord available, homepage right here as well, and equally in the description as well. But Cody put this in as earlier, and again, this could be speculative, but CoinPal.io posted, ready for big move, hashtag CoinPal, hashtag Binance, hashtag KuCoin, hashtag Casper. And this is an interesting post. And again, it could just definitely amount to nothing. But it's an interesting post because CoinPal.io, their CEO is Oysun Lee. And, they are basically working very, very closely with the KEF, the Casplex team, effectively. So, they're saying ready for a big move. They're definitely talking about Casper here. But Oysun Lee's spoken about it regarding to CoinPal as well. This could either, for me, call it either stablecoin talk or potentially, again, Binance listing. Speculative once more, so take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. Until we get the actual confirmation, I'm not getting my hopes up. But CoinPal saying ready for a big move. I do think a big move is incoming for Casper. I think a lot of big developments and announcements are coming out for Casper. Big tier ones are definitely on the horizon as well. How far away? Not sure. But this could, again, potentially be a leak from the people who are working in the inner circles, like Oysun Lee, CoinPal.io, who will definitely have some form of connections to Binance, who are potentially announcing that Binance is close to listing, or even stablecoins are close to coming on Casper as well, because CoinPal will be a big part of that. And there was also a post from the KF, which is very, very, I think, important to cover nonetheless, which is covering a recent proposal from XXIM podcast, who have done interviews with Casper Door and many other people as well, who are basically just highlighted in response to him saying, we will not take over Casper. XXIM recently proposed that KEF might manage Casper's most visible comms channels in the future because it's a sign of trust. And while I understand where he's coming from, and I'm very happy that KEF said it here as well, I understand where XXIM is coming from, but the KEF have to kindly and firmly decline, and I'm so glad they've done this because, again, their role is not to represent Casper. Casper is decentralized. They're to support Casper. They truly believe in decentralized permissionless ecosystems where no one speaks for Casper. The KEF is there just to, pull resources together, fund talent, and initiatives to help Casper grow, or promote initiatives to help Casper grow. They don't want to become a leading voice. There is no leading voice. That's the point of Casper, is decentralized. So it's good to have institutions and initiatives supporting Casper, and its support is not trying to take over, actually trying to stay true to what Casper is. Gives me more conviction, therefore, what the KF trying to bring as well, which is great to see. You see merchants lining up more and more for Casper as well. You got Kent Cider, who allows you to buy with Casper, which is fantastic stuff. And then, as you've probably maybe you haven't realized it, but if you looked at the thumbnail for the stream today, you'll see above Trump's smug face, his smiling face, you see Marathon with a red circle crossed out through it, and that's because Marathon have released their next quarterly report. We saw December 31st one, where they reduced their Casper from 108 million to 35 million Casper, and now they released the other quarterly report, their March one. You can see here the last quarterly report, December, they saw 38 or so, or 35 almost million Casper, and now the total digital assets held by Marathon as of March 31st, 2025, so the last quarterly report, doesn't even say Casper anymore. It says other digital assets. So they've removed Casper, the name from Casper, from their report now. And, they disclosed $3 million in other digital assets on their balance sheet. So how do I perceive this? How do I feel about this? Well, I think personally these are mind games, and I'll explain why. I might say it's hopium, but I'll explain why. Because we saw with the Crescendo hard fork, Marathon was a part of that. If they didn't want to mine Casper anymore, they wouldn't have done the Crescendo hard fork. They wouldn't have cared. But if you looked at the Crescendo hard fork, you looked at the pools, Marathon alongside Binance, they were there participating in the Crescendo hard fork. Marathon still mines Casper. They had a lot of it when it was very profitable. They sold out a lot of it when it became less profitable. And now they sold a lot more of it while also removing the name Casper from their balance sheet and changing it to other digital assets, which is definitely most likely Casper. Now, it could be a strategy because, again, shareholders who have seen an asset, as you're looking at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin from its all-time high, it's only down, 5%? So that doesn't look bad at all from the Marathon side of things. If you're looking at Casper right now, while it's come back significantly recently, Casper's down 50. So as a shareholder perspective, you're not going to want to see that. So they've removed the name Casper from their sheet for the time being. There's no doubt in my mind they'll come back. They might even start shifting away from Bitcoin to more Casper element mining when the altcoin cycle starts taking off properly and more Casper adoption comes through as well. But they have taken a bigger step away from Casper right now, which you can hate that, you can love that. I'm quite numb to the idea. It doesn't bother me either way, truth be told. Marathon mining Casper or not, it's a good deal, and fundamentally speaking they are still mining Casper, so that's not changed, just how much they're holding. But if they're holding less, it also means it's more decentralized, which is great for us. So the way I see it right now is Marathon are mining Casper still, on Crescendo still, but they're not holding a lot. And they're even trying to hide the fact they're holding it, which for me just means, okay, great. So they're not holding a lot of it, it's more decentralized while they're still mining Casper. That's a big win. Either way, for the first time ever in history, Marathon did diversify away from Bitcoin to get Casper as well. That is still significant news. You can make what you will of that. I'll read the comments in a moment and understand what you all feel about that. But for me, again, I think it's more so just a what's the word I'm looking for? Damage control, manipulative element maybe. I don't particularly find it that damaging. Not personally, at least. And it'll be their loss because I think Casper again is going to surprise a lot of people in the years to come, even just this cycle. It's more like if your wife is yelling and you can't move, show your wallet and I see what you mean by the gorilla comment. Okay, I see. I see your point. Trump is handling it well, though. It's looking like this will be the best presidency in terms of helping the American working class I've experienced. Well, that's kind of my point as well. While he has definitely crashed the economies, I mean, again, I don't live in America, so my opinions are very, very, if anything, almost irrelevant, right? I'm not in America, I'm not American, so I cannot attest to how it feels to live in America. Living in the United Kingdom sucks. Everything's so expensive here. It sucks so much. But I can't attest to America. But what I know is American economies have a significant impact on every other economy in the world. The market's capitulated since his tenure. And now, as we are now in the first few days of May, halfway through Q2, the markets are now looking like they're back to where they should be, or back to where they were before they came down. And at the same time, during that time, we're at a similar case in the market right now, but inflation has come down significantly, which the data supports that, and even Jerome Powell has acknowledged that. While he's still saying inflation is still too high, he's acknowledged that inflation's come down significantly since Trump's tenure. So inflation's come down significantly. The markets have recovered. The whole, egg prices down thing, I've not checked that recently. I imagine they're still down though. I don't know how it's going to, again, we'll have to wait and see how that affects, but I am under the impression right now, based on data, not based on what Trump's saying, based on data, because I don't take word of mouth, I take maths. If you're an investor, you trust the numbers more than you trust people's opinions. That's why I have to do your own research. The numbers say that the economy's in a better position right now. It'll start affecting the economy in the coming weeks, because again, it's a delayed cycle, but it looks better now than it was. Welcome back, Don Gainsborough. You're not first, but I appreciate the sentiment. Definitely Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, that's what it seems like right now. But hey, it's what it is. Dems hadn't packed their bags and needed more time. That also could be a case as well. How does Trump get some more credit for the stuff he might do in the future rather than his criticism for the things he has done, like tackle the markets and increase the electorate's cost of living? I mean, I've already highlighted that he tanked the markets. I've already highlighted that, so it's not like I've ignored that at all. But I've also highlighted that the market's already recovered. So we can criticize him for tanking the markets, but you can't then ignore the stuff he has done, which has been beneficial. Inflation's down significantly. You can't ignore that. You can hate Trump all you want. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. I could also hate Trump. I was frustrated with the fact that Trump tanked the market so badly. I was worried about there being a confirmation of recession. But now the markets are looking okay. Looking very okay. And inflation's down significantly. So I can, again, from the number perspective, acknowledge that Trump has done, well, he's done a bad job, quote unquote, again, opinionated, to where now it's looking like he's recovered. And once more to highlight again, any president that joins in has a 6-month grace window where he can do whatever he wants and blame it on the prior administration. That's what Labour did. Labour came in power and blamed the Tories. They've been in power for almost a year, and they blame the Tories for how they left the situation, and they're right in that regard. But at the same time, you know, it's still terrible. But Trump's only been in office for what? 20th of January. We're now in 9th of May, so 3 and a bit months. 3 and a bit months. You can't, you know, call him a complete failure in 3 and a bit months. He's got 4 years. It's been 3 and a bit months. Is it 4 or 5? I forget. Always get confused. UK and US I get confused. One of them's 4, one of them's 5. I think it's 4 in America and 5 in the UK. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it's only been 3 months. You know, he's got a lot more time. So you can call him a failure for now, but you can't say he's a complete failure and needs to go straight away. It's been 3 months. Anything can happen in 3 months. We've seen that in crypto. They've delayed it. Yeah, they have delayed it, definitely. TDS is real. I'm a doctor. I prove this fact. There you go. I think the working class will be demolished under Trump's presidency. I hope at least is, and many other investors could benefit from his reckless approach to the global economy. His brain is gone soy. I mean, again, I'm not here to say what you should and shouldn't believe in. Everyone's got their own conflicting opinions. I don't try to cover politics too much because, again, it's always a very opinionated topic. You know, you're never going to have a full agreement unless you're in a full right or left wing, you know, group, if you will. This community is one that I cherish because we all have our own voice and opinion, and for the most part, we all are willing to listen to the other side and criticism as well. This is a community that I'm happy to say that most of us are logical and not emotional. Of course, emotions still play a part, but for the most part, we do take pride in actually knowing information and research. And Trump has definitely caused a lot of pandemonium in the whole world. Right, I'm not going to discredit that at all. Numbers right now, from an inflation perspective, is very good. Better than it was under Biden. When Trump took over from Biden sent it sky high. Or sending it sky high. Trump has recovered that. That I can acknowledge. He crashed the markets. That I can acknowledge as well. And that was don't want to swear. It's a joke. It's not the right word. It's not enough venom in the word, but I don't want to just start potty mouthing on stream. It was frustrating. But at the same time, look at the economy we're at right now. In regards to the markets, at least. I'm looking purely at the market perspective right now. Crypto, Bitcoin's almost back to where it was, you know, from when Trump took over. S&P 500 is not far from where it was. Trump took over here. And, you know, it's not far off either as the stock market. So investment-wise, the markets are back. And it's going to likely go a lot higher. Now, how the economy functions in America, again, I can't properly attest to because I don't live in America, so I don't know how it feels to be, you know, in the... All I know right now is there are constant... I don't think riot's the right word. Rallies to, you know, anti-Trump rallies, I think, in most nations, most states. Which, again, I mean, they're going to be. You've had that in the UK as well. you haven't got to love or hate Trump. And again, for me, it doesn't bother me either way. My whole premise is I cover the politics because the politics do weigh on the market, so I need to cover them. But for me, what matters is the numbers. The economics are what matters. That's what drives the markets for me, more importantly. Politics do matter, but that's what I care about. I'll talk about the news, talk about what it means. I'll give a very vague opinion of my own on the markets based on the politics, because again, I don't want to get into it too much, but again, we can debate that till death do us part. We have had very heated debates in our community about that already, which, again, I don't mind people debating about it, but you've got to be willing to see it from both sides. I think that's the benefit that I like to say I personally have, because I'm not pro or anti-Trump, so I can see both sides. I can accept that Trump screwed the markets, but I can also accept that right now the markets are looking a lot better, and that is Trump's as well. So you can't just hate him. If you're gonna, as an investor who's trying to remove emotions, as you should all be trying to do to become more successful investors, you can't just hate something like that. I mean, you can, but you've got to also understand the benefits and the negatives. Where would Facebook normally buy their crypto from? It's still too much hassle for the sort of people hanging out on Facebook. I mean, true. I don't exactly know where most people who are on Facebook are, Okay, I don't want to actually. To my understanding, in my circle group of friends, I'm going to say that because I don't want to insult anybody here. Only grannies and grandpas and old people use Facebook, and that's in my group. It might be very different where you're from. But in my group, none of my mates use Facebook. It's either Snapchat, which even then, that's kind of gone off now. Snapchat's for young people. It's more so just WhatsApp, and that's for phoning people now. Maybe Instagram. Or even Twitter, actually. Although Twitter, I don't message people on Twitter. I normally use it for research and other news sources. But I don't use Facebook at all. I'm not on Facebook. So to answer your question about where they buy crypto from, I don't know. But at the end of the day, everybody's going to be going on crypto, and there's still 3 billion users. So that's still almost half the whole population. So there will be some people who will end up getting into crypto from Facebook. Casper would easily be a top 5 when Bitcoin hits 500k. I think there's a good possibility of such. Don't see why not. Still early doors, no doubt, but I don't see why not. How are these institutions making these predictions without factoring in the Bitcoin quantum compute issue? They're trying to pump bags. Also, Buffalo's kindly right here. Quantum computing won't be a problem in the near future. It'll be a later problem, so there's not really an issue for them to look at right now. And they want to pump bags. They want to make everyone really, really bullish so they can pump the bags higher as well. And Bitcoin will reach high numbers. Then, that's another conversation for another day to try and sort that stuff out. But they will make high prices. I don't know 1.5 mil is going to happen. I haven't factored in that high. I think 1 mil is definitely possible. How soon, again, I don't know. But again, I don't know the sort of level of capital we're going to see coming into the market very soon. It's going to be explosive. That's more I know. I mean, I have a rough estimate based on all the alpha information I have in my VIP group and everything else we provide in there as well, which does tell me that we are in for a very, very explosive rally with crypto from here and further on as well. Which again, if you want to find out exactly what, then you can check out the VIP group down below in the description and also on my homepage again. 7-day free trial as well. You can join for free for a week if you wanted to. Check it out and get a little bit ahead of the game. If you like what you see in there, you want to maximize more from even just making money actively with trades as well, so you can end up even paying for the subscription there as well, then you can check that out again down below in the description. But of course, always do your own research and trade your own discretion. Have to say that. Indeed, that CME gap 92k. Yeah. TA didn't pump the Bitcoin price. It was macro news. Exactly. But TA, I do understand the importance of TA always. There's elements of importance in it. But for me, I use TA to judge support and resistance levels. That's it. I mean, that's what TA is effectively. Support and resistance right now. But I don't tend to normally do these wedges here. I don't normally do those. While they are helpful, and again, it gave us some insight on, the bull flag or that wedge here we see and it broken out right now, it's good. For me, again, the lines matter a lot more than these, cup and handle Grandpa Stiltskin's patterns, you know, like it just like these ones are a lot more simple and mean a lot more to me, because you can see very clearly where the price sees a lot of resistance and or support. And evidently right now we're seeing a lot of resistance right here. We're currently at 10.38 cents, seeing it get rejected just short of 11 cents again. We need to break above that for us to be a definite confirmation of the next bullish leg up. And again, markets, meme coin markets are different, because those are very, very small, community incentive, volatile markets. In majority of the big altcoin markets in general, markets don't pump based on TA. Casper didn't break out of that wedge because it was, that's what TA said so. No, Casper was in that wedge. The macro news caused Casper to break out of that wedge. You know? So TA is important to help you judge your zones. And that's all information and educational videos we have already available in our VIP group as well. You can watch a video tutorial on that. But again, it's the fundamentals that matter more so to understanding where the prices are going to, whether they're going to go up or go down. And sometimes you'll get caught off guard like this stuff here, which happened last second. We knew it was going to happen. Trump did announce about this, leak about it, but we didn't expect this was going to happen to this sort of level, and equally, you know, this as well. I didn't expect this to happen. I knew it would happen, but this is what happened yesterday, all at the same time. That's why the markets exploded so much. So again, fundamental news is always very hard to properly judge. I saw analysis for Casper I saw analysts for Casper say they're going to reach 10.4 cents and reach up to 31 cents by the end of May. Interesting to see in a few weeks. I mean, 31 cents by the end of May would be absolutely mind-blowing. You know, that's looking up here. And that would be, you know, 3x from here. Now, of course, 3x in this grand scheme of things, we saw that with Bybit. If we see a Binance listing, hey, who knows? Without a Binance listing this month, I don't think a 3x is going to happen. But I think Casper does have all the tools effectively coming out and or already ready to start pumping. Again, smart contracts on the doorstep, stablecoins on the doorstep, tier 1 listings seemingly gearing up now. FOMO market starting to rally again. We're looking at a much stronger Casper. While still down 50%, we're looking at a lot stronger Casper than we have seen for a very, very long time. It's undervalued still. For me, this was definitely the absolute bottom down here. Double bottom down here. So we start seeing this kind of repeat pattern going up now. And then start breaking up higher as well. 1.5 mil Bitcoin ain't happening in the next 5 years. Again, DC, we don't know about that. Again, it's hard to really say for sure, but I mean, again, for how long it'll take, I don't know myself either. It could take 5 years, it could take 10 years, we don't know. But what I do know, again, based on my institutional research documents that I provide in my VIP group, is we are going to see so much more capital than we can possibly fathom enter crypto starting this year for the years to follow. Going into the next cycle. The next cycle is only 4 years away, remember, technically speaking, if the cycles do still continue in their usual pattern. That cycle is going to be significantly higher than where we're at right now. Significantly. Now, I'm not trying to say 1.5 I'm not trying to necessarily say and confirm, because I have no confirmation of such it's going to happen, but it are sources suggesting that we are not bullish enough. People very, very, very frequently overestimate the short term and underestimate the long term. I don't want to believe this necessarily, because that's a bit moon boy for me, seeing 1.5 mil Bitcoin. But I do think we're going to see a lot more pumping than we anticipate with Bitcoin and crypto going forward. Because again, I'm not institutional capital, but I see what they're talking about in the documents they are creating for their clients, for their own partners, for the people that documents are not showing us that I've been able to get a hold of. These documents are telling us what they are holding, what they're believing in, how important they think crypto is going to be. Which gives me conviction in why this outlandish price target, for me, it's a possibility. I'm not sure how soon, but it's a possibility. Because I see, again, they're definitely trying to inflate the bags more so as well. But higher Bitcoins are definitely possible. I could be a gorilla, just poke it in the eyes, lol. Well, Ronnie, that'd be your funeral, man. What's the likelihood of for Casper reaching 50 cents this year? I think quite a good solid chance. Very solid chance, truth be told. Glock says no hand-to-hand combat or weapons short of heavy firearms would reliably stop a charged gorilla, and even then the risk is immense. Well, realistically, this is such a... I don't know why this trend's going on right now. Why are we fighting gorillas? Why are we fighting gorillas? This trend is going on. I've been seeing it all over my my socials. I'm like, why am I seeing 100 men fight a gorilla? Why? And people are debating about it. And the truth be told, I do think people would win. Because again, you definitely have most of them dying from a gorilla, but they would win because again, humans are smarter, and of course gorillas have very short stamina. So they get burnt out, and then you've got to just have people who are, have the right tools and or strategies to just take that thing out. But, I mean, realistically, one-on-one, you're cooked. Good evening, Raw Britannia, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. ETH pumped, man. Yeah, ETH are looking very, very good right now. I do think ETH is going to fall off, probably at the end of the cycle, but if ETH is doing well right now, that's fantastic, because ETH is still the indicator for altcoin season, and ETH is running against Bitcoin right now. Good indicator that alt season is still very much alive, and we'll see it go higher this cycle as well. Marathon news is not positive, clearly. Again, it depends on where you're from, DC. Like, it depends on your mindset. Because if we never had Marathon in the first place, it wouldn't matter. We had Marathon add Casper already, which is a big, big deal. They've significantly lessened their balance sheet, which is not good news. But in the nature of what Casper actually is, the centralized asset, they are still mining Casper. They even upgraded to Crescendo. So they do still have belief in Casper. That's why they're still holding it. That's why they're still mining it. But they're just significantly lowering their risk of Casper right now. That could be deemed as negative. I'm not saying it's not. But on the side of optimism, once again, they're still mining Casper. And they have less, meaning it's more decentralized now. So that is a benefit. Again, it's a matter of perspective. So I've got to kill a spider on my wall real quickly. Give me a sec. I hope that wasn't too loud. Have no spiders in my room, thank you very much. That was my slider. Or slipper, whatever you call it. Grayscale and Marathon are playing mind games. They don't want to create FOMO. They are accumulating. Also possible. Marathon are treating Casper like the mice that are bred to be fed to their pet snakes. It's all about Bitcoin for them. Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe they are. But again, we don't need Marathon. It's a great thing to have, and they're still mining Casper again. They're upgraded to Crescendo. So they still have it. It's just they're not holding much of it, which again makes it more decentralized. So again, it's a matter of perspective. I don't personally care. What's up, Magnus, my man? Who's doing very, very well. We need a Trump drinking game. I mean, I don't drink very often, but you're welcome to think of something up if you want to. With someone as rascal as Trump, will we have to look back with retrospect and learn from mistakes and give credit to where they did right? I mean, again, it's the whole... You're right. I mean, again, it comes down to the whole element of, again, trying to look at it from a neutral perspective. You've got to understand the good and the bad. Whenever I do research and I try to publish sources in my community, I try to also look at it from an objective opinion. Look at the good and the bad. That's why Marathon, again, who is now taking Casper off the name of their balance sheet, that is bad. They're lowering their allocation to Casper, again, that is bad. But at the same time, they're still upgrading to Crescendo. They're still mining Casper. Casper's therefore more decentralized. It's not being held by a centralized authority of Marathon. That is good. Looking at both sides of things. So Trump, in that regard, I think is... You can make a similar argument. He crashed the markets. That's bad. But the markets have recovered now and inflation is really, really far down. So we're in a better situation. We are in a better situation, arguably, at least for Bitcoin and crypto. We're in a better situation here than we were with here. Because inflation is significantly lower here than it was back here. So while this from Trump was terrible, and we could hate Trump for that, we're now here. So again, you can hate Trump for what he's done, but you can't be ignorant to what he's seemingly doing right now, which is working. You got to be objective from both sides of things. You can't just hate because you're hating. What's up, Natty, my man? Let's go, Casper. The Ghost of Casper. The Ghost of Casper right now is currently up 2%, but it's currently at just short of a $3 million market cap. And yeah, I mean, one of the bigger holder communities right now, just short of 7K. Ghost of Casper will be a big one for me when it does end up seeing its rally, whenever that will be. But yeah, I mean, it's looking strong right now. I think, again, these memes are due to rally when Casper makes that big pump and tier 1s start taking their decisions to actually list Casper as well. The reason everything was stable with Biden is because he was asleep and Trump likes to move fast and break things. Biden was a candidate of nothing and Trump is a candidate to shoot for the stars. I mean, the way I perceive it is the system that we have, the financial system we have, was broken, well and truly broken. And I made this analogy in the past. The way I perceive this financial economy, or at least where it was, is our financial economy was a clay pot, right? I'm not sure of those who've ever gone to, make a clay pot, handmade or whatever, but you go to the machine, give it some wet clay, mold it in the shape you want, boom, it's there. That was our economy back in 1973. And over the years, with all the money printing, people kept just chipping away at it. Chipping away a little bit. And every time the Fed issued QE and lowered rates, they basically got new clay and slapped it over the top. But underneath, it was still broken. Nothing changed. They just made it look nice, but it's still broken. What Trump has done, in my perspective, and I'm not me supporting Trump right now, but it's me supporting, again, I think anyone should have done this, truth be told. What Trump has done is come and saw this clay pot. I'm like, oh, it looks nice, but it's actually broken in the middle. I'm going to just break it. I'm going to punch a big hole in it and then condense it all down and build it back up from the bottom again with crypto. That's the way I perceive what he's doing right now. And he has definitely broken that. Luckily, he still had the blueprint on how it should be built. At least that's where it seems like I had the blueprint for it. If he lost the blueprint, we would have seen a recession. He's still building it. He's still molding the clay pot right now, but he's had to build it from the ground up. So, and that's not me trying to say I support Trump or hate Trump. Again, that's not a political point. My point is just, again, from a financial perspective, the whole economy was broken. We cannot deny that. It was not in a good spot. It was terrible. Inflation was parabolic. If somebody else came in and decided to just keep putting wet clay on top of a broken pot, it would have been a disaster and crumbled, unable to hold the weight of everything. Trump's just taken action, broke it early, but remember the blueprint to try and build it up. That's the way I perceive what's happening right now from a financial perspective. That's my perspective again. Facebook is legit better than Instagram, lol. And again, I'm not, again, that's just me personally. I don't use Facebook. I'm not saying it's better or worse. Facebook's far bigger. I'll admit that much. But at least for me, in my social life, I don't use Facebook. I use Instagram or I use WhatsApp. Even Instagram I don't use very often because, I'm not 12 anymore. Stuff like Snapchat and Instagram, those are like more often for me, at least this is me in my society. American and UK societies are very different. In my society, at least where I grew up, Snapchat and Instagram stuff are used to high school. Or, do you call it high school in America? Yeah, college is your university, yeah, high school. Once you got to like college and university, then like you kind of stopped, or you were starting to grow out of it, and you started going towards like just text messaging or WhatsApp. That's kind of where it went to. Some I just didn't get on Facebook. You might crash, but it will be fun doing it. I mean, hey, maybe. What's up, my man? Yo, Caspians. I see Casper is still an undervalued project in this space by far, and it's going to prove everybody wrong in the cycle as well. As a Brit in Mexico, I found out a small town relies on Facebook when I tried to leave my house, and every road was blocked. The town arranged a protest on Facebook, and I was totally oblivious. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, again, Facebook's huge. Not discrediting Facebook, it's huge. So it's a big deal. It's just, again, how big of an impact it will have, we'll have to wait and see. Quantum computing will break Bitcoin, but it will also break every encryption ever. So the military will brick. The traditional finance will also be bricked. And again, it's definitely a future to take into account to be concerned about, but we're not there to be worrying about it just yet. And for me, if anyone's going to solve that, it'll be Tom Polinsky. They're already looking at it for me. TA is horoscopes for men. Honestly. The star signs. No, there are quantum resistant and quantum safe algorithms. All other cryptos could change over these algorithms, but Bitcoin would have a gazillion Bitcoin sat in the Satoshi wallets waiting to be hacked. I mean, again, we can debate about quantum till death do us pass. It for me is not worth worrying about just yet. Ma spent a lot of money on miners playing the long game. They're going to make a killing on transaction fees 100%. No more Trump, make a stop. Okay, I'll stop talking. Again, just highlight. This is just me answering questions right now. I'll stop talking about Trump. Doesn't bother me either way. Talk about my humour. Someone has always got to do it while Mr. Miles is away. I mean, yeah, true. Mr. Miles is actually, I did manage to get him back in the basement, but I think he's asleep right now. A kid, but he was, yeah, he messaged me yesterday saying he'd come back. So he's not here today, unfortunately. Hopefully he's watching on playback or whatnot, but I'm sure he'll be in the streams coming forward as well when he has some extra time. I'm not going to show that question, DC. And the answer is I don't use apps for that, and I don't do that. So, you know, nice try. Ask Grok if a human could drop over a gorilla. Why? Ask yourself someone if Ethereum was released today, would you buy it? I wouldn't say it's worthless to me. I mean, yeah, true. The way also to perceive a crypto is if you look at an asset right now and you think, if this was released today, is it worth getting into? Ethereum, for me, no. It's not got the infrastructure to be worthwhile. You know, it's not there. Casper is. It is. That's why I hold Casper. But with that being said, that'll be it for today's Casper and Crypto live stream. If you enjoyed, as always, feel free to leave a like, share and subscribe for more. If you want to be even more locked in, stay tuned to Crypto Casper, have a community to chill chat and learn more about, then check out the free community here. Equally the VIP group as well. More in-depth information there as well. We can check out and keep more in tune to what's happening. Again, we have 3 ongoing trades right now that have been very, very profitable. So if you want to find out more about that sort of stuff again, also hopefully actively making one on the side, then come check it out again. Link down below in the description and my homepage as well. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, everybody. And I will see you in the next one. Take care now.